Thia, 10 years old. I don't know where it all went wrong. I never understood that saying, because looking back on my life, I can pinpoint the exact day, the exact hour, when it all changed and took a turn that no one could have predicted, especially me. 3 weeks away from my 11th birthday, I had just ridden my little red bicycle the 3 miles to the stop and go. Dad wanted me to drop off a crate of oranges, so I'd tied them to a skateboard and tied a rope from the front wheels to the seat of my bike, with a rope I'd found in my dad's old boat. "Will you watch the counter, Cindy?" Emma May asked, swaying her hips from side to side. She shimmied her way over to the door, clutching her little square purse in her hand. "I'm just going to pop next door to the salon for a bit. No one will probably even come in," she added. Leaning over the counter, she opened the antique cash register, using a series of button pushes and a slam of her fist on a spot at the bottom. She removed some cash and smiled back at me, pushing through the glass door that chimed when she opened it, and again when it swung shut. Emma May was right. She'd asked me to watch the store before, and no one had ever come in. Until that day. It's not like I was eager to get home. Mom had started acting weird, cleaning the floors for hours until the wood lost its shine, talking to herself in the kitchen. Anytime I asked her about it, she acted like she didn't know what I was talking about. Dad told me that it would be okay, and to just stay out of her way and give her some space. I did what he said and stayed away as much as possible, most of the time not getting home until just after the sun set. Watching the store was a good reason as any to prolong going home. After an hour, I got fidgety. I straightened the wall of cigarettes behind the register, turned the hot dogs on the rollers that didn't work, and tried to read a magazine, but I didn't understand what 17 positions to make him ache even meant. If someone was aching, why didn't they just go see a doctor or a dentist? That's where I went when I had a toothache. I'd given up on magazines and was leaning back on an old bar stool that creaked every time I swiveled on it. With my feet up on the counter, I turned the channel dial on the little black and white TV that was propped up on a phone book sitting on the corner of the counter. The only 2 channels that came in was some Western one and the Weather Channel. Both pictures were fuzzy, and the only sound coming out of the speakers was the sound of static and white noise. I tried to turn the entire thing off, but nothing was working. If anything, I'd only managed to make it louder. It became so loud that I didn't hear the motorcycles pull in the parking lot, or the chime of the doorbells against the glass. I pulled the plug from the outlet. I was still holding the cord when I looked up into the eyes of a dark-haired stranger, and his gun. "Everything you've got," he ordered, pointing with his gun to the register. He was swaying from side to side, and his eyes were rimmed in red. "I don't know how," I started, but the man interrupted. "Just do it," he ordered, making the gun click. He hopped up so that his chest was resting on the counter, and the gun was only inches from the side of my head.